After more than 2 years behind bars, reality TV stars Todd and Chrisley are back home with their family. And that's all thanks to a pardon by President Trump. Fox's Jonathan Sierra has the latest on their release.
Todd Chrisley speaking for the first time Friday after being released from federal prison earlier this week. Todd, along with his wife Julie, were pardoned by President Trump after being convicted in 2022 of bank fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy to defraud the government out of millions of dollars. The couple, who have maintained their innocence, faced lengthy sentences, with Todd set to serve 12 years and Julie 7.
They both received a combined sentence of 19 years for a first-time nonviolent offense. It was truly weaponized. They called them the Trumps of Georgia.
The Chrisley's daughter, Savannah, fought to secure her parents' freedom.
Your heart breaks because your child has been placed in that position to fight for you.
The two were indicted in 2019 under a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney. But Savannah, a vocal Trump supporter, says her parents were targeted due to their public profile and conservative beliefs.
People think, oh, you're a celebrity, you're white, you have money. That we got an upper hand, and we didn't. I had to fight, and I was relentless.
The Chrisleys are headed back to TV and have already begun filming for their new reality series, which will feature their recent pardon and release.
We do have a much bigger story to tell now.
There is growing speculation over which cases President Trump will look at for potential future pardons. The president said earlier this week he is looking at those convicted of plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. In Atlanta, Jonathan Sierra, Fox News.
Some national news. The FAA is demanding an investigation into Tuesday's out-of-control SpaceX flight. The spacecraft launched from Texas and made its way halfway around the world to the Indian Ocean before going into a spin and breaking apart. No injuries or public damage was reported. The FAA will oversee the SpaceX investigation, which is required before another Starship can launch. And the Centers for Disease Control makes changes in its recommendations regarding children and the COVID-19 vaccine. The CDC now says that children with no underlying health issues may receive COVID-19 vaccinations. This comes after an announcement earlier in the week from Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. that the agency would stop recommending the vaccine for healthy pregnant women and children. This change means that health insurance companies will be required to continue to broadly cover the shots in this specific age group. Immunocompromised children and most adults are still recommended to get COVID-19 vaccines. Senate Republicans plan to launch their own formal investigation into the health and mental fitness of former President Biden while he was in the Oval Office. This comes after the GOP-led House Oversight Committee began looking into accusations the former president's inner circle took part in a cover-up. Both Republican investigations are focused largely on President Biden's use of so-called auto pen to sign legislation and executive orders while chief in command.
Who is in charge, whose finger is on the nuclear button or has nuclear codes, who can declare war, how do we defend the nation when we have basically an absent president, and those are constitutional issues we need to address and correct.
And Biden's supporters say the former president personally signed 162 executive orders along with hundreds of other documents during his administration. And they strongly deny the accusations that President Biden was not fit to lead the country during his 4 years in office. A major ruling from the Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to revoke the temporary legal status of hundreds of thousands of migrants. The decision lifts a lower-level court order that kept humanitarian parole protections in place for more than 500,000 migrants from 4 countries: Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. The Supreme Court's order is not a final ruling, but it means the protections will not be in place, while the case proceeds. It now returns to the First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Boston. Elon Musk, he bids farewell to the White House as his time spearheading the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has come to an end. Musk was brought in as a special government employee. Fox's Rebecca Castor has more.
After 4 months of being the face of slashing government spending, Elon Musk is trusting the Trump administration to carry on the DOGE mission without him.
This is not the end of DOGE, but really the beginning.
While Musk is leaving, having fallen short of his ambitious $2 trillion goal, he says Doge did cut
over $160 billion, and that's climbing. We expect that number will probably go over $200 billion soon.
And we likely haven't seen the last of him.
And Elon's really not leaving. He's going to be back and forth, I think. I have a feeling it's his baby. Americans owe him a great debt of gratitude.
And I'll continue to be visiting here and be a friend and advisor to the president.
With mass layoffs and aggressive cuts to government agencies, Musk quickly became public enemy #1. And his businesses like Tesla suffered for it.
We became like essentially the Doge boogeyman, where if any cut anywhere would be ascribed to Doge.
It's good that he's gone. It was a short period of time, but a guy like him could do a lot of damage in a short period of time.
And Musk found fixing Washington's spending problem wasn't as easy as he thought it might be. He's not happy with Trump's big, beautiful bill the House recently passed, which could add trillions to the national debt over the next decade. Musk's exit also comes amid new concerns over his drug use on the campaign trail and while working for the administration. Accusations he refused to acknowledge today. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.